Hi, everyone, and welcome to Stamp with Angela. I'm Angela Palmer, and I appreciate you being here with me today. So, whether you're joining me live or whether you're watching this recording later, thank you. And I hope you enjoy what I have to share with you today. So, I'm going to share some tips on doing some stamping, one stamp with some multiple colors, and give you some card ideas to help you with your cards and give you some new ideas. So I hope you enjoy what we're going to make today. Today's card is actually what I made for Coffee and Cards. So it was earlier this month. I do coffee and cards at a local cafe, Vero Cafe in Unsworth Heights. It's a great chance to get together with others, catch up, have fun together, and make some cards. And if you'd ever like to join us, if you're local, you're most welcome. So I thought I'd share one of the cards that I taught at that class. So I hope you get some new ideas and things and have fun. The stamp set that I'm going to use is called Loveliest Tree. And it's great because it's a stamp set and it's also got some images as well as sentiments. So you can make cards and it's all there ready to go. And it's quite good. It's not, it's a tree, so it could be used for, a variety of occasions and to suit different people. All right, so I'm going to turn to my craft table and I'll show you the stamp set and the cards that we're going to make today. Now, I'm hoping today that all is good with sound and everything. I know we've had a couple of challenges the last couple of weeks, with 1 week it not going live to Facebook, and then last week sound issues. But I think that was to do with the microphone coming off, but hopefully we're all good today. So let me know. All right, let's go to my craft space. Okay, here we are. So the set that we're going to use is Loveliest Tree. So you can see there's this beautiful tree stamp here, some leaves, and then we've got a few different sentiments. Congratulations, happy birthday, thank you, and sending heartfelt sympathy. So a few things that we could use on a card. Now the cards that I've made are note cards, so they are a bit smaller, but they are great for a nice, quick and simple card to give to someone. I'm just going to show you a pack of note cards. So here is a pack of note cards. So they come like this. They are both envelope. You get both envelopes and the cards, and you get 20 in a pack. And the cards are pre-scored, which helps as well. So it makes it nice and easy. So I'll just quickly show you, and then we can see one of the cards that we're going to make. And one of them I've kept fairly simple, basically just stamp, ink, and paper. So that keeps it nice and simple, but then you can step it up a bit more if you want. So here is a card, and then it's got a score line, so you can just fold it. And if you have a bone folder, then it is good to crease it with that as well. And I'm looking for my bone folder. Here it is. Gives a nice crisp edge. All right. All right, welcome Linda. Thank you for joining us. Welcome anyone else that's joining us today. Hopefully sound and everything is good today. All right, so this one here is in the green, garden green, and a little bit of old olive. It's probably a little bit hard to tell, but the tree is actually a couple of colors. But with my second card, you'll definitely see the contrast in colors. So this one is a more autumn look. And you can see I've used 3 colors in that one. I have used crushed curry, Cajun craze, and pumpkin pie. All right. So let's get started with this one. So we have our stamp here. So the 2 colors that I'm going to use for our first card are Old Olive and Garden Green. So I'm going to go with, where's my piece to stamp onto? Probably the Old Olive first. So I'm going to ink up the top part of the stamp, not where the, what do you call it? Trunk is. So just with my ink pad, can you see? I've inked up the top, but this bottom part I haven't. Then I'm going to come in with my Garden Green, and I'm going to use a dauber. So these are dauber, they're really cute. Put them on your finger and then daub away. So I'm going to go close to where the trunk was and I didn't get close enough. And then I'm just going to randomly sort of go over the tree like so. Not too much because you want some of the other colour to come through as well. And I mean, it's hard to see how much contrast, but you know, you just have a go and every card's going to be different. Then I'm going to come in with my Stampin' Write marker. So these markers are the same ink as what are in the ink pads, but it's in the form of a marker. And you've got a thick tip and a thin tip. So there's your thick tip and this is your thin tip. So depending on what you're needing to use. Now they come in packs to do with the colour group. So this one here is Pecan Pie, so part of the neutrals. So what I'm going to do is using the side of my marker is colour in the trunk like so. Now when you use a marker on a stamp, it's good to make it moist again. So I'm actually going to huff on it and then stamp it. So I want to leave a bit of space for my sentiment at the bottom. Try and get my tree straight, push it down. It's quite a full stamp, so I'm pushing in the middle as well. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. And can you see the contrast of greens? You can see more in this card than you can in that one, the two contrasts. So by using the dauber, you can add a second colour. Right, I'm going to clean that stamp before I forget. So I'm just using my chamois for the moment. So I don't know if you've seen the chamois. Looking very colourful there, isn't it? Just wipe that off. Later on, I'll actually use the stamping scrub to give it a good clean and things. All right, so for my sentiment, we've got a few in that set. So we've got congratulations, thank you, happy birthday. So let's do a little happy birthday. And I did it in the garden green. So I've got that ready there, and we've got our garden green up here too. So let's do this down here, hopefully straight. Oh, beautiful. Now, if we muck it up, we can obviously do it on a piece of paper and then adhere it over the top. You know, you'd get a strip, stamp it, stick it over. So that's a possibility. Now, I don't know if you can tell, this is very white around the edge. You can leave it like that, but I've actually blended a bit of colour, a bit of green and a bit of blue. So I'm going to use my blending brush. And for the bottom, obviously for grass, to start off, I'm just going to blend a bit of green. So let's start off with not too much because we can add more, but we can't take it away. All right, so I started off first of all and then put it down. Okay, then we're going to come in with some blue, which I haven't opened yet. So let's swap these over. So balmy blue for my sky. So balmy blue. And we will ink up the sky. So just starting off, so otherwise it's a bit splodgy. Not too much coming out. Probably need to re-ink it so we can look. Oh, there we go. Whoops, now I've gone a bit too much. Pushed a bit harder. Nice blue sky today. There we go. All right, now you can definitely see that contrast. So do you like that? That's something you can add to it as well. All right. Then I'm going to adhere it to a slightly bigger piece of garden green cardstock to mat it, like so. And then we will adhere it to our note card. Whoops. So we just want a thin layer, close to the edge, but not too close, because we don't want it oozing out. I like glue because then you can move it and adjust it slightly. All right, there we go. Then we get our note card that we had before, and we're going to adhere that. So a nice, quick, easy card with stamps, ink, and paper, or cardstock in this case. So keeping it nice and simple, and yeah, a lovely handmade card that we can give to someone. Let's just crease that bit more. So there you go. So I really like that one because it's got a little bit more contrast compared to before. Now I just realized my other chamois that came with this mat, I soaked it in the sink before and forgot to grab it. So I use this one just to wipe away any ink from before. Okay, so card number 1. So for card number 2, we're going to use 3 colours, and I'm going to step it up a little bit. So we will need these colours for our sky, but I'm just going to close them and move them out, and our grass, move them out the way for the moment. We'll do our tree and then we'll add that afterwards. So I'm going to start. So we've got crushed curry, pumpkin pie, and Cajun craze. You'll notice some of the ink pads are a little bit different. So I've been a demonstrator for 11 years now. So I got some of these ink pads when I started, and this was the style. Then they, a few years ago, changed them, and this is what they're like now. So some colors are the new ones, some aren't. Okay, so I've got my clean stamp. I'm going to ink up. I'm going to do it this way. Just going to wipe the edge of that stamp because it's got something on it, or the block rather. And I'm going to ink up the top part again, all with yellow. It's a little bit harder to see the yellow. Don't know if you can kind of see, but you can kind of see it looks a bit dry there. So that is our crushed curry. Then I'm going to come in with pumpkin pie using another dauber and just randomly dauber around. Not too much because we want to add the third colour of Cajun craze, and we still want the yellow to show through. We don't want it to be taken over with everything else. So like so. And I don't know if you can, see a slight contrast in colour. I might just go back to my pumpkin pie and just do down there, just in case I missed a bit. All right, then we're going to come in with our marker again. Remember, use the tip, use the side, and colour. So the tree trunks are kind of from up here. Bring it down. Now, I did a practice one earlier, and I completely forgot my trunk. So even the best of us. I managed to do it afterwards and line it up reasonably well, which I was a little bit surprised, but we managed. Okay, heart on it, just to moisten it, and then I'm going to stamp, leaving room at the bottom for my sentiment. So push it down, give it a moment for the ink to go. Ooh, look at that. Do you like that? I think that is pretty good. Very cool. So we'll put these colours away. So if you've got a largish stamp and you want multiple colours, start with kind of your lighter one first. You can dauber with all the colours, but I was just worried that I might miss some bits. So that's why I went with the yellow first and then daubered the other colours over the top. You don't want to dauber the yellow later because you might get from your dauber some of that colour in it. So you don't want to, put your dauber in the ink too much. All right, so let's see. Are we going to go for a happy birthday or a thank you? I've got my happy birthday here. And I had the thank you ready, but where is it gone? You'll notice on my sample card that I had a different sentiment. It's quite a long sentiment, which I thought looked quite nice. That was from another set, so just in case you're wondering, that was the Simply Said. So this has got a great range of sentiments. So if you're looking for sentiments and some sort of long thin ones and then bigger ones as well, that's quite good. But like I said, this already comes with some too. So that's kind of, you get both for that, which is cool. I cannot find my thank you, and it's not in the case because I've taken it out because I got it ready. So we might just have to go with another happy birthday. So my cardstock is Cajun Craze, so that's what I'm going to go for as well. So again, we can stamp on the card or you could lift it up. Now I'm going to put a bit of twine on, so I want to do it a little bit lower so I can put my twine above. Okay, so that's my Cajun Craze. And we need to sponge our background if we wish. So we're going back to our green and blue, our balmy blue and our garden green. So let's have a look. Okay, so remember kind of start off first, because you'll see even there it's quite, dark, and we just want it to be subtle. So smooth circular motions for our grass, and then it's not just quite so white. Then we come in with our sky. Okay, just circling off, and then there we go. That looks cool. Just try and kind of blend where the two meet. Lovely. I just like that look because it's not a. I'll show you what I was going to do to step it up a little bit. So I'm going to add some twine. So I might just wipe that now. So if we turn it over, we don't get ink where we don't want it. All right, so actually linen thread is what I've got here. So going to put a bit of tape on the back near the bottom. So this is some seal. And to be economical, I'm going to wind it backwards and forwards. So we're going to start there, go across, maybe just sort of under the tree a little bit. Well, we could go 2 or 3 times. I don't know why I always just like to go 3, cross it over if you wish, come back. And cut it with our ribbon scissors. Okay, so make sure that's stuck down. So just adjust it if you want to. I kind of want to see the base of the tree. So let's just slide it down a little bit. So at this point, we could adhere it to our card base so it doesn't sort of come apart or anything. So let's do that. But yeah, I think it's quite nice, this sort of autumn look. Around where we live, we have lots of trees. Not our street, but as you come into our street, lots of trees that lose their leaves. And you love the autumn colours on them before they do lose their leaves. There we go. And then we can tie a bow. So I'll cut a bit off and tie a bow. So I've got the sentiment on that side. So we'll do our bow over here. All right, then we need to, I've made the end a little bit too short. Let's just try and make them a similar length. That looks a little bit better. We'll try again. Nothing like pressure when you're live on video. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. Try and get it to go the way we want. Okay, I might just trim that so it's a little bit similar size. Then we're going to adhere that onto another base. So for me, I don't know what you like to do, but that is the score line scored on that side. I like to fold that way, and then it gives a nice crisp edge. I've got a bone folder and put that on there. Now, if you're worried about this moving around, we could put a little glue dot behind it too to hold it in place. I love glue dots for adhering ribbon and embellishments and that kind of thing. Did you know in the new catalogue on the embellishment page, there is a little guide that shows you what embellishments you use for what? I'll show you in a minute. We'll just get an embellishment and get a glue dot and just hold it in place. Maybe I could have done it a little bit tighter. That might be the problem. So I'm not using my hands because then I get oils and things on it and it's not so sticky. So I'm just going to pop that there like so. Then it's going to stay in place a bit more. My glue dots. All right, so let's have a look. So fairly quick and easy cards today, but a technique that you could try, you know, yourself with other things. All right, so what do you like? Do you like the autumn one just plain as it is, or do you like the added twine? And then we've got over here, let me put these two here and these ones here. So I think that's the one we did today because we did happy birthday. You can see a bit more contrast in the leaves, which is quite nice. So there you go. So I hope you like that. So do you like the twine or without? Both are very suitable and look great. So let me show you that thing about the adhesives. So this is the annual catalogue, which is current at the moment. If you're not quite sure where to find things, go to this at the back and look for the word adhesives. So that's A for adhesives, and it says it's on page 116 and 17. So we will go there. 116 and 17. Here we are. So these are the different adhesives that we sell. So I used today the multi-purpose glue plus the glue dots, and then I also used the seal, which is this one here. So can you see here there's a symbol? So the seal is good for, over here, cardstock and ribbon. So we used it on those today. For the glue, you can use it on cardstock, you can use it on embellishments, you can use it on die cuts, and you can use it on 3D embossing, a 3D project, sorry. So very versatile, but some people don't like it because your hands get sticky. Glue dots as well, lots of uses for that. Cardstock, ribbon, embellishments, die cuts. But some things like the tear and tape, more cardstock, ribbon, and 3D projects, not so much die cuts because it's too fiddly, you know, getting the right size, that kind of thing. And the difference between the Seal and the Seal Plus is this is a stronger adhesive, so it's good for 3D projects. So yeah, so that's on page 116, 117 if you want to know what adhesives we have and how to use them. Here we go. All right. Would you use gems, butterfly, dragons? Yes, I was wondering what embellishments to use, and I wasn't sure. So that's a good question, Linda. And I think, yeah, I didn't really want to use gems as such, but I like your idea of butterflies or dragonflies. So I'm having a look to see if they are handy. And what do you know? Sorry, just lost my microphone for a minute. We'll put it back. Yes, I think that would work. So I don't have any butterflies handy, but these are the dragonflies and birds. Obviously, the tree's smaller in comparison, but we could add a couple of those as well. And I tend to like 3. I think the birds would work well because they're flying. So let's do this one and add some embellishments as well. So we'll add one swooping down up here. And we'll add one flying over here. And maybe a dragonfly. I don't know, down. I want to add an angle near the sentiment. And these are quite nice flat adhesives, embellishments as well. But I think that looks quite nice. If you want to step it up with some embellishments, I'm assuming these are still current. I'm not sure. I know the butterflies are, but I can't find those. So that kind of thing would work well. So that's a great idea if you do want to add some embellishments too. I mean, you could add gems and things. I'm just, maybe rather than around the tree, you might want to put it around the sentiment to kind of accent that, perhaps. So that's a possibility. Maybe more sequins or something flatter rather than something too bulky, but a good point. All right, any other questions or comments and things? Okay, so a couple of other things just to let you know about before we finish today. The special for June is the extra 10% off. So if you're looking at a bundle, which is a stamp set and die set bundle, you get an extra 10% off. So usually when you buy the stamp and the die set, if they're new in the catalogue, you'll get 10% off. You'll get an extra 10% off if for those. So you can check out the website to see what is on special and things. And even the machines, Stampin' Cut and Boss machines, whether it's the mini or the big, you get 10% off those as well. And I haven't seen a special on that before, so that's awesome. And if you're wondering about the mat that I'm using behind, it's a great surface to work on. It's nice and firm. It's heat resistant. As you saw, it was great for blending on. Then I just wiped it. And it's got my measurements on it, so it's very useful and you don't have to keep replacing the grid paper. So that is available to customers from next month. So at the moment, demonstrators can pre-order it, but I've already got one. But you can order it from 3rd of July for $126. So keep that in mind if that is on your wish list. So one last thing, and that's the sketch inspirations. program, I guess you could say. So this was launched by 5 other demonstrators from around the world and myself. We had a special last week. That special has ended for the 3 month joining for 3 months at a time. You can still take part. It's $27 per month if you would like to take part. And so that's a great way. We share a sketch with you and then 3 cards using that sketch. 1 is exactly like the sketch. 2, it shows you how to adapt and use it differently. And you get videos showing you how to make the cards, a PDF with photos of the cards plus supply lists. But of course, you can use what you've got and adapt what you have to be able to make the cards. And you'll get a new sketch and cards every 2 weeks. So that's very cool. So I will share the link for that in the description and you can check that out. All right, so there we go. So here are today's cards using our ink and our daubers to add more colour to our stamps. So I hope you enjoyed that technique. All right, so coming back to me, where are we? Here we are. Excellent. All right, well, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate those of you that are here live. I know probably afternoons don't quite suit everyone, but it's a nice quiet time for me at home when the kids are at school and things like that. Evenings are very busy, so it doesn't work for me. But the good thing about these lives is they are recorded, so you can watch them when it suits you. So please reach out to me if you've got any questions or if you would like to order. If you don't yet have a copy of the annual catalogue and you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like one, the link is in the description as well. Please get in contact with me and I can send you one. I don't know about you, but I like looking at the paper copy and checking it out. The other thing is, if you are not on my mailing list, I would encourage you to sign up. I share information, exclusive tutorials, information about classes and things that are going on. So your way of keeping in touch. All right, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed today's technique. Why don't you give it a go? Have a look at what stamps you've got. Use some daubers with some different inks. Obviously, you need a sort of biggish image that you can add quite a bit of color to it, but give it a go. So thanks for being here. Please reach out to me if I can help you in any way. We'll see you next week. Bye.